At 3:30, we're going to start recording this. Because, I have a radio show, right? I have a radio show called Treeshakers.
The Tree Shaker?
The Treeshakers. Because we
Okay. Shake the tree.
And make it happen.
Hey, now guess what? I got a saying that do you know the difference between a monkey and a gorilla?
What?
A monkey climb the tree to get his coconuts, and a gorilla stand at the bottom and shake the tree.
Yeah. That's right. A gorilla is the boss.
Yeah, he stands at the bottom and shake the tree and make his coconuts drop. But the monkey got to climb the tree to get in.
Yeah.
Right. That's right.
And see that gorilla?
Yeah.
I've seen gorillas in person.
I have too.
They're frightening.
That silverback is the gorilla.
Ain't nothing to joke. Ain't nothing to joke with that silverback.
Yeah.
That's
right.
A beast. That's a beast, man. That silverback. I don't know why the people be playing with that silverback, but that silverback ain't nothing nice. That's what that silverback is what was Godzilla tearing that stuff up in China.
Right. To the whole city of
So what they used to call them, in the movie when they had Tarzan, where they had that big old gorilla and he had pick up the white girl and she was swinging in the air.
Yeah, you had to stand over the Empire State Building that was on now.
Right. What gorilla? What's the name of that?
That was King Kong.
King Kong was a silverback.
Yeah. That was I think that was the original.
Yeah.
Remember that was the original. Cause they made about I want to say 4 or 5 movies with King Kong, but that was the original. When he had the white girl in his hand and he holding on to the building.
Mm-hmm. Now you know what? Our phone got a little I got a little static when it come down to you. It's not real. Your voice is not real clear.
Oh.
No, I just turned it up a little bit, and hopefully that'll help. So, okay, now tell me this, Mr. Stanley. Introduce yourself to everybody. Tell them who you are, and I just want to get into it and let folks know how you feeling today. First of all,
I'm here.
How's your health? What's going on with your health?
I have major issues going on with my health right now. I have the COPD going on right now. I have 2 leaking heart valves going on right now. I have a lot of I had 3 mild strokes. I'm stage 3 kidney disease. I have hypertension, and also what is that they say? I have the hypertension. Let me get my paperwork. All my paperwork. I have coronary problems, cardiovascular problems. I have pulmonary problems. I have major.
Well, guess what? You see them talking in the background? They gonna have to stop. I can't hear you.
And excuse me. She said she can't hear y'all. She said she can't hear me with y'all in the background. Yes. Can you hear me now?
Thank you.
Yes, you are.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. But I have coronary problems, pulmonary problems. I have major cervical and lumbar problems where they preparing a surgery for me now. I got 2 leaking heart valves going on. I had the COPD, and I had 3 mild strokes.
Wow. So how many pills do you take a day?
Wow. It's about, I want to say from 10 to 12. 10 to 12 pills.
When the last time you was in the hospital?
The last time I was in the hospital was end of 19. I think end of 19. Somewhere around the end of 19. I'm not certain what month it was. But I forgot I caught the coronavirus too, so if you want to count that,
Oh yeah, that counts too.
That was last month.
So
I
you had the
had,
coronavirus last month?
yeah, I contracted the virus.
How you know
Yeah,
how you
and
contracted it?
no, they gave me the runarounds too. I think what they did, they screwed up. When I went to get tested, uh, they took an X-ray and they took pneumonia.
Wait, you said
Okay,
what now when you
so
went to
they
get
told me
tested?
that
What happened? What happened when
I
you went to
got
get
tested.
tested?
They took an X-ray and they said I was positive with pneumonia at that point. Um, they said they would contact me within 24 to 48 hours to give me my results back for the coronavirus. So I'm waiting and waiting, and I noticed my symptoms started getting worse. So I went back to the hospital. I get back there. Um, my temperature, my pressure was like 194 over 107. So the lady sitting there taking my vitals, as she's taking my vitals, I hear her tell another nurse, we're gonna put him in room 3. So at this point, I asked the lady, I said, ma'am, I was here prior, maybe 5 days ago, and I said that someone was supposed to call me and give me my results to see if I had the coronavirus. And she said, wait, hold on. She said, wait, no one called you? I said, no. I said, what are you saying? She said, well, you positive with the coronavirus, but no one had called me. So I said, you mean to tell me I was walking around here the whole time with the virus and no one called me? So she's like, I'm very sorry. She kept apologizing to me. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry they forgot to call you. She said they were supposed to call you. And I said, wow. So they went put me in the room number 3. They hooked the IV up to me. They put an IV on me. They gave me 2 Tylenol pills. I remember my pressure like 194 over 107. So I'm laying there with the IV on. They had no blood pressure cuff on me as I'm laying there in the bed. So I'm laying there. A nurse come in and out every now and then. So the last time the nurse comes in the room, she said, well, the doctor said they want to release you. And I said, ma'am, look at my pressure. I said, my pressure is high. Y'all gonna release me with a blood pressure this high? And y'all didn't give me any medication? And she said, well, the doctor said to take your medication tomorrow. Now it's about 1 o'clock in the morning. She said, the doctor said take my medication tomorrow. So I'm like, why you guys didn't give me nothing to drop my pressure? I said, because I have a history with having mild strokes, and this could be the big one. And so she said, the doctor said, well, just take your medicine tomorrow. So I said, you need to go back and tell the doctor that she needs to give me some medicine or something, then to release me out here with a pressure that high. So she went out, and when she went out, she left some paperwork at the foot of my bed. So the paperwork they had to release. They didn't cut my release papers already. So she said, now I'm looking at my paperwork. Now my paperwork shows my blood pressure at 138 over 97. I said, I don't never have a blood pressure that low. So, and I asked, where did you get these numbers from? She said, she came up with some crazy idea. So at that point, I'm thinking she's trying to cover up. They forgot to call me to tell me about the virus. They were trying to cover up they mistake and let me go home to die. You know?
That's what that sound like to me. What hospital was this at?
I was at Oxford Main campus on Jefferson Island. So
I'm
I'm gonna tell you what I did.
I'm gonna have to call them and let them know we about to air this show and give them an opportunity to respond.
But look, I have what I did. I covered my butt. I got 3 different documents with 3 different blood pressure things. When they released me out the hospital, I went right back and checked right back in. So the ladies looking at me, they said, didn't you get released? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, but I'm checking back in. So when they checked me back in, this blood pressure showed matter of fact, I got the paper. It showed 190, no, it showed 179 over 105. So I said, how did it get to from 138 to 97? I said, I never have a blood pressure that low. So they wrote down what they wanted to write down to cover their butt. So now I got 3 different sets of paperwork with 3 different numbers on them. But 2 of the numbers are close, but the other one is nowhere close to it. That's how I know they made that up. So they made up a number to put on the paper to release me to cover their butt because they felt threatened because maybe he could sue us for not calling him to tell him he had the corona. I'm walking around with corona. Had no doubt, had no clue I had it. If I wouldn't have went back, I could have probably died because I started getting worse at home, and I started getting real hot, like fire was on my body, and it's like it's a good thing I went back. If I wouldn't have went back, I probably could have died. And so they were so apologetic as far as kept apologizing to me, saying how sorry they was, and I'm saying sorry wouldn't have never brought my life back behind a foolish mistake you guys made by not even giving me a courtesy call, letting me know that I had the virus. So I'm walking around like I'm still never knew I had the virus.
You walking around like what?
I was walking around like a normal person, but all the while I'm carrying the virus. I'm walking around with the virus because they forgot to call me to tell me I had it. Yeah, and I said, that's a major mistake. That could have cost me my life if I wouldn't have never came back here tonight. So when I went check back in, she gave me 2 blood pressure pills, and that was it, and she released me. So I said, you know what? I'm going to another doctor tomorrow. So now the next day I went to there's Baptist, Oxnard Baptist on Napoleon and Claiborne. Yeah. I went there. And when I went there, those people helped me out real good. Those people saved my life. They put me in the room. They gave me medication. They gave me some medication to jump me off rather than that. And then they also gave me a prescription. And from that point on, when I took my prescription and the medication they gave me, I came back. I got back to normal again. Wow. But at first it felt like I was gone. It felt like that was my last day. I couldn't breathe good. I already have the machines, the breathing machine, and what's my machine's called that rest.
Something what you get with that a COPD
Yeah, I got the nebulizer. Yeah. And I was supposed to go yesterday for my for my sleep apnea. So they're not letting me do the sleep apnea because they think I need to be on the machine to sleep apnea, but they're not letting me go right now because of the corona. So she set me to go in the middle part of this month. It's the second time that they set my appointment back because of the corona. So they got me going at the middle part of this month for my sleep apnea because my primary care doctor felt like I needed to be on that what's that machine called? And what's that machine?
A CPAP machine.
Yeah, CPAP. Yeah, the CPAP machine. Now they already had me on the nebulizer with the medicine I got to pour in. I'm already on that one, and I'm on 2 pumps. I got 2 pumps in that machine. So I got a lot going on.
And all of that you're dealing with homelessness too.
Yes. And I only get SSI. And I have documents. I don't know if you can read them from my doctor's statement. I don't know. Can you read this?
No. Okay, I don't need to read that for this purpose right here. But I'm just glad you have your documentation. But because what's gonna happen? What I want to know is what was the date that you were at? What date were you
at the hospital?
At Oxnard main campus?
Could you give me my auction papers? Them 3 roll of papers? Just 1 minute, please.
Okay. I'm sorry that happened to you, but we almost lost you that day.
I'm blessed. I'm blessed by the best.
And I think so many people still don't really get the message about how jaded the scale is when you are affected with the coronavirus. Some people get so much better. The people that I see on TV,
yes,
they getting the best of treatment. But the people I see on TV are predominantly and by a large margin white. So you wouldn't even think that this was affecting the black community like it does. Because I just don't see the black stories being told on TV.
And it's not true. I have
That
3
ain't
people.
true.
Let me see the 5th. I'm trying. I got all 3 sets of my paperwork right here. Let me get the dates on them.
But I tell you what, in the interest of time,
yes,
we're gonna put that on the side. And then when you get a chance, you give it to them, because I'm gonna call Asda and let them know we about to air this story and give them a chance to defend. Because my nephew said I have to do that. My nephew's 18.
Right.
You gotta give them a chance to say something too. And I want to be fair as a journalist, you know. And
correct.
To me, this is real. This is a real testimony of what people are going through.
Yeah. Nah. It's real. It's real. I'm a witness to that. It's real. It's like they really left me for dead. They really did. They let me out the hospital, like I said, and I'm sitting there looking at these numbers here, and they twist these numbers up, but they're still high. I went in there. When I went in there, the lady told me my temperature was at 104.3, I think it was.
And that's like you out your mind when your temperature is that high. You don't be in your right mind with no temperature like that.
Right, and that's how I felt. I felt very delirious. I felt lost. It was like my pressure was getting high. I felt like I was about to go through another stroke. I already had, like I say, 3 mini strokes, and that's how I was feeling like I was about to have another stroke, because it's like when you're talking to me, I can hear you talking, but I can't relate to what you're saying. So I get this. That's how I know when I'm getting close to a stroke or my pressure too high. I can hear you speaking to me, but I can't relate to what you're saying. And I just stare at you. I just stare. I be disoriented. I'm hearing you talking, but I'm not understanding what you're saying. That's how I know when I'm close to that point. Yeah. And actually, they put me on a program called, I had that here also. They put me on a program called, because I was hospitalized 3 times within 4 months. I was in the hospital. So they put me on this program called Ready Responders, where they come to you every week. They come visit you every week, and they check you out. And they came to the home where I'm residing, and they had to call the ambulance to come get me from here one day.
How often does Ready Responders come?
Yeah, the Ready Responders come to your house. They come once a week.
And where is that, through the city of New Orleans?
Yes, it's a new program that they have. It's a new program that they have called Ready Responders. These guys are new, so I asked them. I said, I don't know anything about you guys, and how did I get in contact with y'all? And she said, no, the doctors, the hospitals set me up with them. They said, when you hospitalized two times within 4 months, they automatically sent you, and I was hospitalized 3 times within 4 months. And so they automatically...
So you hospitalized 3 times within 2 months.
Within 4 months.
3 times within 4 months.
Yes, and that's how they hooked me up with this Ready Responders, because I didn't know how I got connected with these guys. So they explained to me that I got connected because I was hospitalized 3 times within 4 months. So they automatically connect me with these people.
Okay, where were you hospitalized at?
University Hospital.
All 3 times it was at university?
Yes.
Let me ask you this. Did they know you were homeless also? Did they know you had just recently gotten housing?
Yeah, but at this point, I didn't have any housing. I was homeless. They put, what they call it, they had me, what the patches was they had on my body. to check my heart. They were trying to monitor my heart, and they had patches all over me. And I got out the hospital about 12 that night, and I didn't have anywhere to go, so I was on the street, and the patches started sweating off my body because it was so hot outside. So they didn't get a
Wait.
chance.
This is when you left. When you left Baptist. I mean, when you left Ashna main campus. They had the patches on you then?
No, not the patch. No, that wasn't then. That was when I went. No, I was at St. Thomas. I was at St. Thomas. St. Thomas put the patches on me. St. Thomas Community Clinic. They put the
St. Thomas Community Clinic.
Yeah, cause I see it, man. I see about 6 or 7 different doctors, clinics, and I get confused sometimes because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
I see a coronary, a pulmonary. I see a pain specialist. I see gotta
be somebody for the COPD also.
Yeah, that's my pulmonary. Yeah, they had me on two pumps and that nebulizer machine.
Nebulizer.
Yeah, I got a nebulizer machine. And now here I'm going for that sleep apnea. My doctor requests that I go there. They say I don't have to have sleep apnea. It could be messing with my other organs because I'm 3rd stage kidney disease. So if I go to number 4, I got to go on dialysis. So I'm one point off from being on dialysis. Yeah, I'm at a stage 3. Stage 4, I got to go on dialysis.
So let me ask you this.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me. So all of this time you were how long have you been homeless?
I was homeless about almost a year. Almost a year.
And when did you move into this unit that you have now?
I moved here, I think it was October. What happened was I was connected with Unity. So the lady that had been working with me, her name was Miss Jocelyn Scott. She had me to go get military papers, my DD-214 forms from the military. She had me to go get all my medical paperwork.
When did that happen? When did that happen?
This was in October. This was October. That she had me to do this. And so when I went there, she told me, she said, Stan, she said they had 50 permanent vouchers. She said, you're gonna be the first one to get the permanent voucher. So she had me to go get all this paperwork. I went and got like about 400 to 500 pages of medical paperwork on me. So they put it on the disc.
You had been in the hospital. That was one of them 3 times in them 4 months you was in the hospital.
Yes. They know all that.
Okay.
So she had me to go get all my medical paperwork, my DD-214 form. I went and got everything the lady asked me to do.
And so you walked from Unity down to the VA?
No. When I went from Unity, when I had to walk, yeah, I went from the place sit right behind Charity Hospital. I was at that place also. The place that sit right behind Charity Hospital. And they told me to walk down by the VA building on Partridge Avenue around the Superdome. And I had to walk there to get a DD-214 form for the bring to Miss Scott. So they had me all over the place. I was all over the place. But that last incident when she told me to go to my doctors and get all my medical paperwork, and I didn't even have the money, and I had to pay $90 to get my paperwork. $90 worth of paperwork.
From the VA?
No, not from the VA. From this come from my. See, they had me not service connected. I did reserve time. I wasn't active duty, but she still wanted my DD-214 form, showing I was honorable discharge and this and that. So I got all that for them. So when I got it, she said, Stan, she said, we're going to use all your paperwork as an example for what we need the other clients to bring in when they come in. So she said they had 50 permanent housing vouchers, and you're going to be the first one to get one. So the next day or 2 days later, I received a phone call from this company, and I'm like, I don't know who you guys are. And they said that there was Rapid Housing. And I'm like, I don't know how I get in contact with Rapid Housing. She said that Unity called them and told them that they needed to put me in a house real fast, real quick, fast, in a hurry. That's how I wound up getting in this house so fast. So in the meantime, I'm thinking it's gonna be permanent housing. But she said it was Rapid Housing because they needed to put me in a house real fast because of my machines and all this. And now my program ended this month. This is my last month. After this, I'm on my own again. It's like I'm back on the street again after this month. They helped me this month, but after this month, that's it. That's it.
Did you try to contact Unity back again to talk with them about the permanent housing assistance?
Yes, they told me they had nothing going on right now, and it's like I'm back at square one, to be honest with you.
Who did you talk to at Unity?
Miss Scott. I talked to her briefly, and I asked about the permanent. She was like, Stan, they don't have any more vouchers and stuff.
Because I'm going to contact her also. I'm going to call her from Treeshakers and tell her, we are a media source and give them a chance to respond, because I just feel like I'm going to tell you, Mrs. Stanley, as a citizen in the city of New Orleans right now, as a citizen in the state of Louisiana, my heart breaks to know that somebody with the health conditions that you have here in the midst of a pandemic that has affected the entire world, that you at this point could still be having to worry about whether you're going to have shelter tomorrow, and that you in your health, in your state of health, may be out here on the street again. That's inexcusable for an agency, and that's their job. I'm also going to contact the governor's office because I want to know what he has to say about that.
Yes, and what it did, I already suffered with post-traumatic stress disorder, anxiety, and depression. I've been having that for years, and it shot it to the moon, my anxiety. Then, a couple of years ago, my son got murdered. He was a college football player, and he came home. For Father's Day. He was playing football, college football in Illinois. He came home on Father's Day to see me, and he got murdered on Father's Day night. And man, that messed me. That had me. Oh man, I was gone. I was all messed up, and it still bothers me today. I'm still going through it. I'm still grieving behind my son. He was my baby son, and all of his dreams was just to play professional football, and that was his best friend that played with the Kansas City Chiefs, won the Super Bowl. That was he was the running back, Darren Williams, and my son was Tramel Marshall. He was the wide receiver, so he would be playing professional ball also. And his own friend, a guy that he ate dinner with at the table, murdered him. And they had me on all kind of medication for depression and anxiety. So that, with all the other medications I take, it sometimes it has me out of it because the medications be so strong, even the blood pressure medication. I take like 4 different blood pressure medications.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
And then I think also with that, and I'm not even no psychologist. I'm just a regular person, but I would imagine, and I mean because I survived Katrina and I suffer with PTSD also, but I would imagine that all of that in combination with having to worry about with your shelter being so easily taken away from you is cruel. I find that to be just cruel. that they could be okay with treating someone that way. Even if it
Yeah.
fell through the cracks, it was so many opportunities for that to be picked up again, and somebody say, well, hey, wait a minute, this man really sick, you know. And that's how we got in touch, because of you trying to find someone. And they do have advocacy agencies that reach out to the homeless population. And I would imagine that you would fit that criteria. They don't have to wait, because if it weren't for this if it weren't for this rapid housing,
I've been on the street.
you'd have been on the street all this time since October.
Yes, and what I wanted to tell you, I can't even think of it. That's good at forgetting things. Yeah, it had got real bad. You know, sometimes it just make you feel like you don't belong in this world. Sometimes it make you feel, and it got real bad for me. My pressure stayed high, and I stayed going to the hospital because it used to be hot outside. And you know, people with high blood pressure, they can't be around heat. You know, you got to be cool. You got to be under some
What
air.
is I could still hear something like clicking in the background.
Yes, that's them clicking. Hey, excuse me. You can hear that clicking in the background. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, y'all. We almost finished.
And I need my plug too. Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry.
So what you
They
say
fin.
about something that you can't take the heat? You say you can't take the heat, and it's getting so hot outside.
I'm sorry. What you said, Miss Scott?
You said you were talking about that you couldn't take the heat because it's so hot outside.
Yes. You know, and I had what they called uncontrollable. I was hospitalized 3 times for my blood pressure. They had to come get me. I had the uncontrolled blood pressure. They keep trying all kind of different blood pressure medicine on me, and they had me on nitroglycerin also, where I had to stick the pill under my tongue to keep my blood pressure down.
Yeah.
And yeah, and what it does, I get very disoriented sometimes when I get too hot. And sometimes when I start worrying about things, my pressure just shoot up. When I worry, my pressure shoot up. And you know, a lot of people be like, you gotta stay calm. But it's hard to stay calm when you're going through situations like this.
Like
You
you
don't
got
know
some
what tomorrow's
extreme
gonna bring to you.
circumstances. You got some extreme circumstances. So, I'm
Yes, ma'am.
definitely gonna be reaching out on your behalf, because I remember when you called me and you were telling me that you wanted me to talk with somebody. I guess it's the person over at Rapid Housing.
Yeah, she's a very nice lady, and she's been fighting for me. But she got to get to the big lady. Well, they extended me this month and they helped me with my bills. When they help, I'm broke after that. After I get my little check, I'm broke. So she been fighting because she got my medical paperwork and bought in, and Mr. Stanley, she said, you're a person that belongs on permanent housing. She said I got clients that don't have half of the paperwork you have and half of the illness you have, and they got permanent housing. And she said, I know for sure that you belong on permanent housing. And she said, I'm fighting for you.
Yeah.
Because she had to come to the house to get my paperwork. And I
And
gave her my paperwork,
I
and
do.
she said,
I do. In community recallers, we help people, and we don't charge a fee for that. We do it because it's just the right thing to do, And
yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna talk with my colleagues so that everybody, we can all reach out on behalf of Treeshakers, on behalf of the radio station here at WHIV, everywhere, we're going to be looking into being able to try to relieve you from having to worry about having a roof over your head. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
now the other health problems with getting you well again, I don't know how. I mean, I can't help you with that, but definitely I will definitely reach out to my elected leadership. I will reach out to Unity, and I will reach out to Governor John Bell Edwards as well. You know,
yes, ma'am.
because this something got to be done about this. And so, what is the date that they gave? What are your timelines right now as far as your housing?
This is it. This is my last month.
So, come June the 1st.
Yeah, that's on me.
Okay, so we gonna have to do something. We gonna play with this month here, but I'm hoping that as soon as possible we can find a way to help to relieve you of having to worry about a roof over your head.
Yes, ma'am. I have something I want to read to you.
Okay, we got some time.
That came from the doc. It said, to whom it may concern. Mr. Stanley Griffing is being followed in our cardiovascular clinic. He is being monitored closely and has frequently followed up visits. He has a history of hypertension, diabetes, stroke, and CVD. Mr. Stanley Griffin also has shortness of breath activity intolerance, which means that he cannot do moderate activity without shortness of breath and would benefit greatly from having permanent housing. We feel that it would be in his best interest if he can have permanent housing. If any further information is needed, please feel free to contact our clinic at 529-9115. Of the doctor's room for me to get to the housing people, and that came from one in a Excel clinic have a letter also. They called the housing clinic, and my other doctor they was calling the housing clinic for me, and then this St. Tony clinic wrote me a letter.
What's the housing clinic? What's the housing clinic?
My clinic, my primary care doctors called the housing people. I want them to call the housing people.
Call what housing
to give
people?
me permanent housing.
What housing people?
They were calling different ones. Unity. I think Hannah. Yeah, trying to find me housing. Yeah, they calling a different one. Trying to find me permanent housing from both my doctors.
You know, are you originally from New Orleans?
Yes, ma'am. I was born in New Orleans. I moved to California a while, and then I moved to San Antonio.
And so, how long you been back in New Orleans?
I've been back in New Orleans. I think it was 2008 or 9. 2008 or 9.
I'm gonna tell you, you know, we used to have public housing here in New Orleans. We used to have housing projects, is what they were called. And you know, right around that time when you came back, they tore down. The city approved the demolishing of all of the public housing projects. So that means that people who are homeless now don't have a place to stay. They can't get public housing. And so that makes somebody like myself, because I'm a housing advocate, I always believe that people need to be able to have, because that's one of the necessities of life. You have to have shelter, food, shelter, and clothing. Those are the 3 things you need to survive. You know, and so when
that's correct.
City sat silently while public housing was demolished, it broke my heart. And then now, in this day and age where I am right now in 2020, to hear somebody in your situation that's looking for permanent housing, I wonder what were they thinking? What were they thinking? To tear down all of the public housing so that nobody don't have a place to stay. You don't have a guaranteed shelter. You know, and we have so many people that are homeless right now. We have women and children on the street escaping violence. You know what I'm saying? We got sick people on the street that need a roof over their head.
Right.
It's terrible. This is a terrible, terrible circumstance. And all of this in the midst of a pandemic. We need to get it together. What do you think about them opening back up everything now, even though people are still suffering with this virus? What do you think about that? You think everything should go back and everything should just open up all over again?
My thoughts about that is I don't think the city's ready to open up right now. I really don't, because it's still a lot of people that's not taking action as far as quarantine. They still out there like it's nothing going on, and what it's doing is starting to spread worse and worse. I lost several family members recently to that. I lost some friends last month. Um, um, I lost some close friends. One of my friends was on the phone talking with his brother, and they were talking, and while they're speaking, he calls me on the phone. He was crying, and I'm like, "Man, what's up?" And he said, "Man, my brother just died while I was talking on the phone with him."
Wow.
And and that hurt me, man, to hear that. And then I get a call about 2 days after that from another one of my friends, and him and his cousin, she's a female, they were texting one another back and forth, and he calls me and he said, all of a sudden his text stopped coming through. She died in the process of them texting one another. Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a lot of people. I don't think the city's ready yet. I really don't. I don't think it's ready. I think they need to really give it some time, take their time. Don't rush back into this. Because this series, I mean, this life or death situation. I'm sorry?
Did they tell you how did you catch the coronavirus? They didn't even.
No, they didn't tell me. They didn't tell me. They didn't even tell me I had it. They didn't even tell me I had it. The nurse that I spoke with that night, she was taking my vitals, and my vitals was real high. So they were talking about putting me in a room. And as they speaking about putting me in a room, I asked the nurse, I said, excuse me, ma'am. I said, no one called me to give me my results from the virus that I came about 5 days ago to take it. And she was like, she said, wait. She said, you are positive. She said, you're positive with the virus. And I said, what? She's like, yeah, you've been tested positive. I said, no one called me to tell me that. And she started telling me how sorry she is, and she had that look on her face like, wow, we screwed up. She had that look on her face.
Look, what I'm about to say is this was at the, so you were tested at Osh, the main campus also?
Yes, ma'am.
You was tested there because
yes, ma'am.
Earlier, you were there 5 days before that, sick, and they never
did with you. Right. They never called me to tell me I had it, so I started feeling worse. So I went back.
Somebody put it in your record, right? Somebody must have put it in.
No, they hadn't even called me.
I know, but it was there in your record. It had to go in
it had to go on the record. But no one called me. The nurse I seen the second time I went, she was very surprised that no one called me.
Well,
they had forgot to call me.
Let me tell you this. I'm way on a whole nother level. I know a couple who, this guy was a chef, and he was so sick. He kept getting sick at work. And so he tested. He didn't have the flu. He didn't have what else they tested about? He didn't have the flu.
Pneumonia.
He had pneumonia. He had some different strain of pneumonia. So finally, they tested him for the coronavirus. They tested him for the
Yes, ma'am.
coronavirus, and they never did follow up with him. And guess what? His wife was 8 months pregnant at that time, and
Wow.
they laid sleeping right next to each other all of that time.
Wow.
But when she got ready to go into labor, she started having a fever. She was real low
Oh,
sick. And so they had three
wow.
babies. They got three other kids at home. So all
Yes.
four of them get in a car when it's time to bring her to the hospital. And when they get there, they test her. She got corona. She tested. Her fever was so high, they had to hurry up and rush her in and give her a C-section. But all of that time, he had coronavirus. So don't feel bad. It didn't just happen to you.
Wow. Right.
It
There's
didn't just happen
always
to you.
people
They
in
had
worse
people out there. They
situations.
had people out here who and they let that man lay there and pass that virus on to his wife, and could have killed the wife and the baby. Could have killed them both easily.
Easily.
Easily. So
Right.
yeah. And
Wow.
that's the black narrative that I'm not hearing being told.
Right. And I'm gonna be honest with you. I went to the hospital 1, 2, 3, like 4 times, and I don't see number of black people. And I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not a racist thing, but I seen number of black people. Number of black people. I may have seen out the 4 times I went to the hospital, I may have seen 4 white people. That was it. And it
But
makes me wonder. I'm
I'm
like,
worried. I'm worried for our people because
I see a
they're not
hospital full
getting
of
that
black people,
message.
and I see in four visits, I'm supposed to see more than 4 white people. I see no black people in there, and I'm not being honest. It's not a crazy thing, but I'm being honest. I'm gonna tell you what I see, and that's what I seen. I seen about 4 black people in the 4 times visits, and it put a lot of, I had a lot of stuff running through my mind. Could it be this? Could it be that? And uh, you don't know, you don't know what to think. It's so corrupt.
You
You
don't
don't
know
know
what
what
to
to
think.
think.
But I tell you,
You know, but I
we
know,
have
I know
to
one
battle
thing.
this.
It's sad.
But I appreciate you.
It's sad.
I appreciate you taking the
You're
time
welcome.
to talk to me today, to talk to the community today. Because it's about time for us to start wrapping up. But I want to know, do you have any other comments that you want to pass on about your story, or that you want to say to
Yes,
folks about this coronavirus, anything?
yes, I want to tell everyone to be safe.
I couldn't hear you.
Epidemic
You might
serious.
try changing your phone around a little bit because I'm getting a
Yes, I said I want to tell everyone. I want to tell everyone to take this serious because it is serious. I done seen some things. I done heard a lot of stories. Take this serious in your life now. It's either life or death. Do or die. So basically, that's gonna be on you. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna be on you. You have to handle it. You have to be smart about this because it's serious. And for everyone to be safe, be careful. And much love to them. You know
All
what I
right.
mean? Much love to them.
Thank you so much, Mr. Stanley Griffin. God bless you, man. I appreciate you for sharing your story with everybody. And we're going to be in touch. I'm going to be in touch with you soon, let you know how I make out. And the show is going to be on Friday. So we'll talk to you by then for sure. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. And thanks for having me. And God bless you also.
All righty. Thank you so much. So let me stop this recording.